Hi, I'm John. That's Mike. Welcome to the Mike and John Show.
And before we start, let me just say, if I look exhausted, it's because I absolutely am. What is it? Sunday, February 28th, we're filming this. If you live in the Northeast, you got blasted with snow.
Got a big ass snowstorm here this past weekend.
Like 2 feet, and I'm exhausted from just shoveling.
No power in a lot of houses around us.
Yeah, being at work for for a couple of days, just digging out my car that the plow didn't get. And so if I look exhausted, I am. That's why. But it's the NFL off-season preview. Free agency starts on March 5th,
which is this Friday. This Friday. We have not as big as a list as we all hoped for due to the CBA agreements, but we still got a pretty decent list.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are making big cuts because of this uncapped year we're going into. You know, we just recently found out that Montrezl Rolle is going to be released. Thomas Jones
from the Jets
going to be released.
That one surprises me. I understand Sean Green had a good year, but he had a good year in reserve. I don't think Sean Green's ready to be a starter yet. As good as he did in the playoffs, he got hot.
Yeah.
And you don't know about Leon Washington coming back from the nasty injury that he had.
Yeah.
I understand it's a money issue, but in an uncapped year, Thomas Jones, I think the fact that he still ran for as many yards as he did this season, he could have gotten at least one more season out of him. Let Sean Green give him one more year to develop under Thomas Jones. Then you take it from there. I think they're 1 year too early cutting Jones.
I'm with you on that because I think for $2.8 million, you compare to, it's a roster bonus, but for $2.8 million, it's really not that much. You're in a big media market with the Jets. I think they could afford it. I don't think they should go ahead because, especially since next year, Leon Washington's going to be a free agent as well.
Yeah. And then, on top of an injury, you're not going to give a guy coming off an injury more than a 1 year deal. You don't want to invest time into him if he's not going to be the same player he was before.
Exactly. And I don't know, but Thomas Jones is going to be another big name to be released.
If you want to talk about running backs, obviously, we know that Daniel Tomlinson already got released.
And so did Brian Westbrook.
Yes. But if you want to stay with the Chargers, now, I don't get it, but they're not going to tender Darren Sproles. They're going to let him walk.
A lot of people are questioning that, and I think it's actually a gift to some teams like the San Francisco 49ers.
Frank Gore and Darren Sproles?
Because the 49ers want that backup running back to...
Glenn Coffey might not be as strong as you think. He was highly touted, especially when Frank Gore got hurt. But Darren Sproles will fit in the offense. He can return kicks and punts.
That's where I believe he'd be perfect for the San Francisco 49ers. But, I think that's like a gift to teams to say, hey, granted, you look at the money-wise, if they would have tendered him because he was a restricted free agent, he would have made $7 million. Yeah. It's like a big scrutiny right now is the Giants tendered Dave Tofelson to a second-round pick. And he's going to make $2.5 million as a backup defensive end. It's quite a lot of money for a guy who's a backup, but you know what? It's worth that.
The same with Barry Cofield.
But now I believe what the Chargers did. I don't think Darren Sproles is worth $7 million for a year.
No. Well, what kind of money do you think a team is going to be willing to give him?
He'll probably wind up getting a paycheck between $3 to $4 million a year.
Okay.
And I guess he doesn't see that the Chargers are... I don't know if the Chargers are willing to do that, but maybe the Chargers are just looking for a new franchise running back.
Yeah. Now, and there are a lot of running backs in the draft, but the Chargers aren't even looking at the draft. They're looking to trade away Antonio Cromartie for a running back.
Well, rumor is now that the Lions and the Chargers have a possible deal in place. We don't know what, but it would send Cromartie to the Lions for something.
I would assume Kevin Smith.
It could be, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense because Kevin Smith being their #1 running back. I know the Lions are also like the 49ers looking for that backup to their starting running back, not just a complement back.
Yeah, I think because the Lions have a lot of money invested in the passing game.
Yes.
Matt Stafford, all these #1,
Calvin Johnson,
first-round receivers that they've had and missed.
Brandon Pettigrew.
Yeah, so the money is right now deeply invested. Not to say you shouldn't have a running game, but the Lions, again, they can go to the draft, not first round, even in middle rounds, and get a decent running back because maybe there's someone they like we don't really know about yet. And they're willing to improve their defense at the cost of their starting running back because the passing game is so they're so invested in it that they want.
But then again, in my eyes, you got a guy like Lee Bodden. I mean, granted, he probably doesn't want to be on a team that won,
2 games last year.
They won 2 games last
2
year.
games the last 2 years.
And
hello. say hi.
Howdy.
All right.
That's yours.
okay,
Maybe we'll leave it then. But anyway,
sorry about that.
no problem.
Anyway, but I believe that they should go after a guy like Lee Bodden. I mean, granted, he was with the Lions already when they went 0-16. He went to the Patriots, show what he could do,
Yeah. And
and it was great.
The Lions, you know what? They're improving. It's a work in progress. You're not going to go from 0 wins to 10.
And then guys like Rod Hood, Pac-Man Jones isn't great, but I mean, he's a former first-round pick, top 10 pick.
Yeah, by the Titans.
He's having a pro style day coming up.
Mark.
Titans should be there. They're in desperate need for backfield help. I mean, granted, they got a good safety in the second round last year of the draft, but they need more cornerback help than safety help right
Absolutely. And of course, don't forget, the Texans are not going to tender Dante Robinson. They're going to let him walk.
And that's another big free agent name. So I don't know if I'm completely going to agree. To me, I would think the Jets maybe should consider a deal. Like, hey, why don't you take Thomas Jones off my hands?
Yeah, but at the
they'll
same
take
time,
him for a year. I just think because money-wise, that's the way it's going to
but
be.
also the Chargers are going to look at. I feel the way I feel. If you talk about you're going to cut a player, you're not going to get anything back in the trade, especially Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah.
So and like that, that's a problem. Like the teams like we're either going to trade or release a player. You're not going to get it. It just means you're going to cut him. No one's going to really trade anything away when they can just go get him without giving up anything.
Well, it's tough to say what's going to happen with Antonio Cromartie. I mean, there's a lot of teams who are going to be interested. There's going to be a lot of teams who might not be.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
Yeah, totally.
Obviously, another big name that got released a little unexpectedly, Brian Westbrook.
Yeah. They don't want to pay him all the money he was going to make because he missed 8 games last year, especially with a concussion. With the NFL really cracking down on concussions, as far as when you let guys play and whatnot, just because of injuries to past and retired players. It was probably for the better with the Eagles that they cut him now, because you save the money you had to pay him. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy, he was very good.
But then it's like what you said about the Jets, though. It's like, who's after LaShawn McCoy? And LaShawn McCoy is also like a Sean Green. Yeah, he shined at times, but it's his first year.
Yeah,
could he come back and do that again next year? I mean, they could bring in Tomlinson, Thomas Jones, or Chester Taylor to fill that.
Chester Taylor, yeah. That surprised me.
Veteran gap just to raise this rookie guy.
Yeah.
But I think it may be a little too soon because after that, who do they really have?
I mean, I think it's a different situation, only because LaShawn McCoy had to be the starting running back, whereas Thomas Jones was still putting up 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
And I think LaShawn McCoy proved that he's more ready from starting, as opposed to Sean Green, who he came in for a couple of games in the playoffs, and exploded. I think McCoy is more ready to be a starter than Sean Green.
Well, let's see. In my eyes, I think Westbrook, it was a tough call. Of course, I think in the end it was maybe the right call. But at the same time, I thought that they should have tried to restructure that deal.
Yeah.
Truthfully. Just maybe he didn't want to. Maybe that's the result of it. But, if that's what happened, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, we'll move on.
All right. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll go through some wide receivers, because those are some of the big names released, could be traded. We got a lot more.
We got a lot more to go through of teams, what we're going to go through, what they could use, and,
Join us
big week.
Part 2. Click. You'll find it in the side here. Click away.
Be right back.